The first part of our journey is the Out of London Grand Prix. Now we can expect very heavy traffic, but driving is a state of mind, and if you can't bear to travel under these conditions, it's safer to go by bus. Coming up to Marble Arch, and I'm going round the arch into the park. You have to keep an eye on traffic on all four sides of the car. Broken down van in the middle of the road, driver in front going to the right. I've got traffic on my right, so I'm keeping in this lane. You can't hurry under these circumstances. Into the park, the sun is shining quite brilliantly, and it's very pleasant. The traffic is very light. Speed limit is 30 miles an hour. And of course, there is a great temptation to exceed it here, but it's rather an expensive hobby. Out of the gates into Exhibition Road. We're going off right into the Cromwell Road, so check the mirror. Signal with the trafficator. And here in the Cromwell Road, keep into the left here, because there's a lot of traffic going into the airport terminal, watching that chap on the right who appears to have changed his mind. Now, the Hammersmith Flyover, which has done a tremendous amount to relieve the traffic congestion. Overtake this lorry. There's a 40 limit coming up. Pulling back into the near side and building my speed up to 40. I see a Mini in my mirror who appears to be in rather a hurry, so I should keep in, although I'm doing my full 40, and let him overtake. After all, he pays the fines. I shan't overtake this lorry down here because the road joins. I should go back into the left and stay there, because I'm still doing my full 40. There's a stationary vehicle on the left, so remaining out in this lane, keeping my distance from that lorry all the time. Now, driving should be systematic. Do everything in an orderly sequence of events. So here I'm going to make a diversion in order to demonstrate this point. Now we're going to turn to the right. So first, select the correct course. Then check the mirror. Then give a clear signal with the trafficator. Brake whilst the car is travelling in a straight line. Change down into the correct gear. And the only thing remaining now is to turn in without cutting the corner on the correct side of the road, and everybody's happy. No danger to anyone. Now steering. Going round a roundabout. This is what we call knitting with the steering wheel. Hand over hand on one side. So as the tail of the car slides, you rapidly lose control of it. It's a very untidy method and a very unsafe method. Do it this way. Take the left hand up. Pull down as much wheel as you need. And conversely with the right hand. In this way you keep a hand on each side of the wheel, perfectly placed to apply correction should the car slide. And I'm sure you'll agree it's a much tidier method. Now we're coming up to the Great West Road again. The traffic lights are in our favour. We're going to the left, so we'll keep behind this learner. I'm in the correct gear. Check the mirror again. And let the learner settle down before we pull out to overtake. getting towards London Airport now. The lights are in my favour, so I'm going straight through and then returning to my own near side again to let this police car come past, who appears to be in a bit of a hurry. I think he must be going to an emergency. We'll check the mirror again before we pull out to overtake this lorry. The speed limit's 40 through here. Watch those pedestrians very carefully. This is a very busy road. And remaining in this lane to overtake here, we mustn't weave in and out. And then when we've overtaken the van, we can start to pull back gently towards our near side. The lights ahead are red. Now they're changing again in my favour. Oh, there's the police car, stop now. Which seems to prove that first away on the green often means first to stop at the next red. But even police cars have to obey the traffic lights. There he goes, and we're going straight through. The road's up here, so we must keep a careful lookout for workmen, and of course drive on the smoothest part of the road. That is where the new motorway joins London Airport. Coming up to a roundabout, so brake, into third gear, watch the traffic carefully from the left, and I shall be content to remain behind this traffic here. I shan't attempt to overtake. Driving demands tolerance. Now we're approaching the new motorway. Now, motorways were built to facilitate the flow of traffic. I've got a lot of speed here, and I intend to use some of it. Signal now that I'm going to leave the roundabout and join the motorway. Now I can start to build up my speed a bit. Speed is not dangerous. It's speed in the wrong place. Now I've got a rapier up ahead. I'm keeping a lot of distance between us because we're travelling at about 55. I shall let him pass that lorry before I attempt to close up to overtake him. Just keep on my lane, check the mirror, nothing behind me that wants to overtake. And now I shall start to close up, and first of all signal him with my headlights. And again. He hasn't a clue that I'm here, so I shall sound the horn. And again. Yes, he's pulling in, and I can go past. Giving me the V sign. I can't think why he should think that I'm interested in his politics. I'm staying out on this lane, checking the mirror, nothing close behind me. I see a van coming in onto this road ahead, so I shall ease off on the throttle a bit, just in case. No, he knows his drill, so we can get a move on again. We're now travelling at about 65, 70. Now we're coming towards the end of the motorway. So start to decelerate early and check your speed by the speedometer, because after you've been driving fast for some time, speed can be very deceiving. Now we're starting to brake gently, not too close to the lorry in front. The old three-lane road which the experts tell us is not dangerous. Well, whether they are or not, I don't like them. I've a horror of meeting somebody in that centre lane with a combined speed of about 100 to 120 miles an hour. And as we're travelling nicely along here at about 60, I shall be content to follow. Roundabout ahead, brake, down into third, and an imaginary straight line through the roundabout, watching that van on the left. Close to the near side curb, close to the centre island, and signal, but no overtaking here. It's a humpback bridge. Ready. And of course the speed limit here is 30 miles an hour. Not a lot of traffic on the road. The car coming towards me is going off to the right, but he's stationary, so I shall go through. Now this would be a very dangerous place to overtake. And I shan't attempt to overtake that lorry because he's going to pull out to overtake a car. Always drive decisively. If it's safe, do it. If you have the slightest doubt, hold back. Now here's a very sensible piece of road. Two streams of traffic in one direction, one in the other. So traffic coming towards you on this road can overtake with a high degree of safety and certainty, of course. I don't know what this chap in front is going to do. He's pulling out as though he's going to the right. No braking lights. Oh yes, at last a signal. So I can go past him on the near side. Fairly wide road here and a fairly long view ahead. Arrows to tell me to get back into the left, double white line. Excellent things if you obey them. Keep going at a reasonable speed through here, because I have a fairly long view. Nothing in my mirror that should want to overtake. Shouldn't give me any trouble at all. Keeping inside this continuous white line. That's the end of it. Now we've come into Thiel. Watch those vehicles on the left, underneath them and in them, and allow a door's width as you overtake. Can't overtake the bus here. The conductor's coming towards the back for some reason or other. Oh, he's signalling that he's going to the right. And this is confirmed by the trafficator. So start to brake gently, slow down, come well into the near side to let approaching traffic see me. Now, when you're changing down, there's no need for a burst of unnecessary revs like this, for example. I think this is just bad driving. 2,000 to 5,000 just to get into third gear. Quite unnecessary. Just keep your foot still on the throttle, double the clutch, and through, and you get a raise of, you see, just about 500 revs. And the speedometer remains fairly constant, and your driving is smooth. Can't do much overtaking here, so I shall have to be content to remain behind. This chap's going off to the left. And there's an approaching driver wanting to go to the right, but he's waiting to let me through. Cyclists are stopping, so I shall go through, let the pedestrian go across. Be very careful through here. The shops are right on the edge of the footpath. Children can and do run across the road. The clock tower in the centre of the road at Newbury. We've got to go round there and off to the right, so I'm signalling with my trafficator. The shop windows in front act as a perfect mirror to show me traffic coming from the left. And there's a driver slowing down and signalling me to go, so I shall thank him and proceed. Another very narrow street. Watch the cyclist carefully, just in case she wobbles. And take it easy through here. Now we're on the open road once more, and we can get a move on again. There's a van in the lane on the left, so I shall just cover the foot brake. Yes, he's coming out. I don't think he even looked to the right. However, we won't inconvenience. Let him go. Now on the outskirts of Hungerford. Continuous white line and a double white line here, so we'll just keep in. Fairly clear of traffic. Nothing coming out from the left here. There's the old Bear Hotel. Watch this turning carefully on the left. Nothing coming out. We can go through without any trouble at all. It is restricted through here. Now, with all the speed that I've got in hand, there's no need to get close to that bus because I can overtake him just when I want to. Look up the near side, it's clear, down into third, and go past decisively. No shall I, shan't I, shall I, shan't I. Indecision is a dangerous fault. Acceleration is a safety factor, you know, if you use it wisely. I've got a chap driving right up my exhaust pipe. So I'm going to pull in and let him come past if he wants to, although I hardly think he would here. Oh, yes, he would. Nice type. Now, when you see a chap like that, there's no excuse for becoming involved with him. Let him get away or get in front of him, one or the other. He's got a fine turn of speed there. On the crown of the road, Very nice view on the right. A typical motoring Minster. Look at it. I'm going to give you a very wide berth. Going left, waving me on, not on your life, chum. I'm going to see what you do first. We're coming into Marlborough. And just ahead I can expect a lot of parked vehicles on both sides of the road and in the centre. And this is where we have to be extremely careful of pedestrians who might dash out. Traffic on the right is waiting for me, and I'm going down the centre of the road here, keeping my eye on the mirror, because if somebody does dash out, I want room in which to manoeuvre. Not getting too close to the van in front. He's going off to the right. Let him go. There's a pedestrian going across there, so just take your foot off the throttle. Don't frighten them with a loud blast of the horn. You might precipitate an accident. Just let her go across the road in her own time. Now we're coming up to a very narrow part of Marlborough. There's a slow sign in the road, and there's a car coming out of that turning on my left. He's waiting for me, so I'm going to accept his courtesy. It's no good playing after you, Claude, on occasions like that. Can't possibly overtake. There's a sharp left-hand bend here. So once again, I won't get too close to that lorry in front. It's restricted, 30 miles an hour, and I certainly couldn't overtake and obey the speed limit. So I'll just be content to keep my distance behind him. Now the decontrolled sign is just coming into view. When I've got a clear view of the road ahead, down into third and get past him. No danger to anyone. Well, we're on the open road once more, so we can get a move on again. There's a continuous white line on my right, which I mustn't go over. Now you can use this road to its best advantage, both for stability and visibility. Left-hander coming up, so keeping out to the right without going over the white lines, and then straight across the apex. They've made tremendous improvements to this Bristol road. In fact, it's quite a pleasure to drive on it. During the week, that is, of course. 3-lane road again. You can see the improvements they've made. It's that man again. So I'm going... Now, I wonder why he overtook just there if he's going into the left. What makes a driver behave like that? I should hate to be his passenger. And I hope that's the last I'm going to see of you, old chap. Here we are, travelling along at about 65, quite safely, followed by a van obviously exceeding his legal speed limit of 40. You can see from this picture how much they've improved this road. Here it comes, the rain. Coming through Calne, our braking distances have gone up, of course. The road is very uncertain here. Changing road surfaces, which have to be watched because it means varying braking distances. Now here's a very much better service coming up, for example. Watch these pedestrians and take it steady. Slow sign on the road there. Car parked on the bend, changing down into third. Pedestrian crossing clear. And gently coming round under very gentle acceleration. Now this street's very narrow, and you must look out for pedestrians who might suddenly dash across the road, head down, more intent on keeping the rain off their face than a ton of metal off their chest. Rain seems to have that effect on pedestrians. Watch this car, look underneath it. Now we're coming into Chippenham, and the traffic is fairly heavy here. Keeping my distance from this traffic up in front because I don't want to brake hard. I don't want to run into the bloke or have somebody run into the rear of me. Braking very gently, and then on the last few inches of travel, letting the brakes off altogether. In this way, we can pull up without the slightest jolt. Red and amber, green. Now let them get away. Let's get our safety distance between us. Then in front is going off to the right. So we'll ease off on the throttle and start to brake gently because we can't go through. We have to wait until he has a gap in the traffic, so on goes the handbrake by releasing the pull. Don't pull it over the ratchet and blunt it. In this way, you won't have your car run away on a hill sometime. Off we go again. Change up to the gears. And now we will reiterate the system of car control. First, select the correct course. Now check the mirror and blind spot. Give a clear signal. And as we're going to make an acute turn, brake the speed of the car right down. And out of top into second. Another quick look in the mirror, and round we go on our correct side of the road, without danger to anyone. Incidentally, the name of this station on the left is Box Box. Now we're running into the outskirts of Bath. Watch that van, pedestrians, slow down and let this lorry come through. Unilateral parking here. Take great care through here. Watching vehicles on both sides of the road. Lady getting out of a car there, be careful that she doesn't step back into the road. Give her a wide berth. And watch very carefully for anything which might move out. Puff of exhaust gas which might tell us it's going to move off. And there is Bath Abbey right in front of us. Couldn't possibly overtake here because I'm going off round to the left. So we'll just keep our distance and enjoy the view of that lovely building. Down into third. Watch the pedestrian crossing place. And there is the Jaguar coming towards the end of a very pleasant and uneventful journey without incident. Yes, driving is a state of mind.